Hello and welcome to a new episode of Lost in Minecraft, and today we will be looking at the new copper based expansion that has come out for the game. For a long time copper has been an item in the game that has had limited uses, but in recent years Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, have made it a bit more useful, and in this expansion they have made it very useful, particularly for early game. As you can see, copper is very easy to find. It's easy to find above ground, underground, mines very quickly, regardless of what tools you are using. And speaking of tools, that is now one of its new primary uses. So we'll take the copper that we have just mined and start smelting it into bars. And to assist with the smelting, we shall get some more coal. As you can see already, we have discovered even more copper. This will give us a very big stash to start our copper adventures. Nice big supply of coal as well. So when you search for copper at your crafting table, you can see there are lots of different options for it now. Blocks, gates, doors. Now there is armor, weapons and tools. Lanterns, chains and Copper Golem statues. We'll come back to those little chaps in a short while. But the copper armour and copper items sit just underneath iron in their uses and abilities. Now, one of the factors with copper is that it weathers, and to stop it from weathering you need to wax the copper. This will become very important later on in this episode, so for now we need to find ourselves some wax. We had some near the starting area, so we're going to head back. And as we have done this journey a few times now, we shall just quickly nip through it. As you can see, that's our little base around our spawn point, and this is the beehive where we can get ourselves some wax. To get wax from a beehive you need several items. First of all, you need a beehive that is full. This one in front of us is not. As you can see, it has no honey sort of coming out of those two little holes there. The bees will come in and out and eventually fill it up. There goes one there. That's still not quite full. But once you have a full hive, you can harvest it in several ways. You can use bottles to get honey, and whilst we're waiting we'll come back to our initial base and do a bit of harvesting, a bit more planting. So you can use bottles to get honey, or you can use shears to strip out the honeycomb. The bees don't like you doing this, so to help chill them out a bit, like you would do in real life, you can smoke them out. You do this in Minecraft by building a campfire and seating it underneath the hive. Then you can use shears on it and get the wax unmolested. As you can see, those holes are now filled with honey. Pop the campfire underneath. No issues from the bees. Get our shears. And there we go. The bees are just carrying on their merry little way. If we did that without the campfire, we would know about it very quickly. We found another hive ready for plucking, so we shall do exactly the same thing again. You have to be careful when breaking your campfires though, because they will only give you charcoal back. You will not get the fixed whole item, so you have to rebuild it each time. It's not a great deal of resources, but it's enough. Now that we have our wax, we will head back to base. Going a slightly different route this time, and if you saw on the left hand side there was a witch's hut. That's a potential problem for another day. Witches are very nasty little enemies to deal with, and having them have an ability to spawn not too far away from our base can make it very dangerous, particularly at night. But for now, we won't worry about that. So we shall head back up to base, and we shall start work on our copper golems. The copper golems, unlike the iron golems, are not for protection. Copper golems love to tidy up. They will search chests, they will organise chests. It's not a quick process, but it's very useful, particularly early game, to put a bit of order into your stash. So, we shall get ourselves some various different types of stones, because we are going to make ourselves a copper golem sorting system. Do not follow the exact items I use on the screen, because I kept running out of building, so I had to go backwards and forwards a few times. You'll notice there's a few cuts. So just make sure you've got plenty if you're wanting to follow on. We need some good blocks for building, we need some slabs, some steps. We've got some hoppers. Hoppers are very, very useful items. You create them using iron bars and chests. They allow you to move items from one place to another. And then we have some regular chests there as well. So just having a bit of a tidy up before we then get cracking. We will probably need to create some hoppers as well. I think that should just about do us. Smelt some more iron, we're going to need that for our hoppers. See, we're creating some more chests. We're making a block of copper, that will become very important. Oh, an armadillo. Hello, little guy. There, we shall leave him be to go along his merry little way. And we shall come down towards the village where we will find a pumpkin patch. This is a further impressive use of the shears. Because you can carve a pumpkin. A carved pumpkin in Minecraft has several important uses. You see, makes a little face, you get some pumpkin seeds, and if you break the block, you collect a carved pumpkin. Which you can actually put on your head instead of a helmet. If you encounter a lot of Endermen, putting a pumpkin on your head will stop them from attacking you. Unusual fact, but true. As you can see, it gives you a funny little view on your screen as well. That will be a primary item for creating our copper golem. Let's put our helmet back on. Right, so here we are just on the outside of the base. As you can see, there's been a bit of terraforming going on out here. Hello, cow. Flatten the area off a little bit. Now put a 3x3 grid of double chests down, and now I'm just building up along the side of them. Do one section higher than the chests. Then we shall use stairs and slabs to put a little roof on it. The use of stairs and slabs means that the chests will still open. If you put solid blocks over the top of chests, they will not open. You need a bit of space above. And again, this will become very important in the operation of our sorting system. As you can see, those top ones will still open. The chests on top of chests will always open as well. Now we need to make it so that our little chap can't escape. So setting up some walls up to the top. Three deep. And then making a little area for him to wander around in. I will stick a small dirt block on the inside and outside just because it means that I can hop over and get in and out whilst doing the build. So we'll put some slabs across the middle. This will give our Copper Golem the ability to reach all 3 levels. Should put down some stairs so we can get up to the upper level. Yes, this looks like it should do. Right, so we will want him to spawn there. And then we will want our items to come in through there. Which will dig that out a little bit more. As you can see, I've started making a route for our hoppers, but misplaced where it should be. It happens from time to time. You'll plan a build and get something a little bit out of sync. So most times, particularly on a smaller build like this, it's easy just to fix your problem, fill in the hole and carry on. Now we'll have another chest in that corner, so we're just going to put some more walls there so that our Copper Golem doesn't meander off over the side of the walls by standing on top of the chest. Then we shall dig out to where our call it our junk chest. It's not really a junk chest, but where the unsorted items will go once the golem is finished with them. And we shall pop a little double chest down as well. Now we need to start to fill the area with our hoppers. So we definitely need some more. I did a little count out before this section and calculated I need approximately 11 of them. So with the iron bars from our iron blocks, we made some chests. We can make our full set of hoppers. Now hoppers, they have an opening on the top and an opening on the bottom. And where you aim them when you put them down shows you where they're going. I have a little adaptation on the game that makes little arrows so I can see which way they are pointing. If you look at the bottom, you'll be able to see which way your hopper is pointing. And you see that one is pointing straight down. They're all pointing across into our sorting system. And there we go, filling in the gap. You can put blocks on top of the hoppers if you so choose. It's not vital. I'm just making a little temporary hole so I can make sure that the hopper's going into the right direction. Feed all those hoppers into that first one. Then to put items on top of a hopper, you crouch to do it. So we shall come across. We need that empty again. That's where our golem's going to spawn. We should put a chest back in the hut, and a chest on top of the unsorted items area. Now we can create our golem. So you put down a copper block and put a carved pumpkin on top, and there we go, a wonderful little copper golem. We use wax on him so he doesn't tarnish. If they become too oxidized, they do in fact stop working entirely, and we don't want that. So where he spawned is a small copper chest. The chest on the inside, you put items in, and the items will be taken out by the hopper that's underneath and transferred to the copper chest. Once in the copper chest, that is where they will start to get sorted. Now, to tell the golem where we want different items, you can do this by putting the item that you want in the chest. So for example, in this one we want some sand, so you put a block of sand. Now put item frames on the outside of them, so you can put another block onto them so you can see what's in which chest. Item frames are just made from sticks and leather, and are great little ways of helping organise sorting and such like. They also have a very impressive use on maps, but we shall get to that in a future episode. And here we go, on to our last chest. So now, when the copper golem gets any of those items in his little copper chest, he will sort them into the appropriate slots. Anything that doesn't fit in those slots will go into the unsorted box. Transfer down those hoppers into that last double chest. As you can see, the items are coming out of the chest, they're running through all the hoppers, and we shall pop outside in a moment and see him at work. So there he goes, checking the chests, looking for where the items are. He picks up approximately a quarter stack of an item each time he goes in. There goes, our chest now empty, some more items in there for him, and he will quite happily carry on his merry little way. We haven't given him any junk items yet, but as you can see, all the items that we have got sorted that he wants to put in places, he's put them all away for us. So there is a quick little look at the new copper expansion. Thank you for joining me. I hope you put your golems to good use. If you build another section next to it and put a copper chest where we put the waste chest, you can in fact keep the stack going, and you'll have a small little army of organising golems. So thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next episode.